Hello everyone. We will learn today chapter number 1 of Curiosity Class 8. The chapter's name is Exploring the Investigative World of Science. We will leave it. This year, our investigative adventure will take us on a journey from the tiny microbes we can't see to planet wide challenges we can't ignore. We will start by examining something as small as a single drop of water and uncover a hidden world of tiny organisms, unseen but deeply linked to us. Some of these are invisible helpers that help us digest our food or produce medicines, while others can be harmful, causing infections. But what does our body need to stay healthy? How do we fight these infections? We will find out how nutritious food, exercise, medicine, and vaccines help us stay healthy and fight infections. But that's just the beginning. In today's world, science does play a major role in improving lives. For example, we use electric current in many ways to help to make our lives easier. We depend on heating effect of electric current to keep us warm, while the magnetic effect helps motors run and machines function. These phenomena depend on fundamental sources. So, after watching electricity do work, we move on to study these forces themselves, starting with those that make objects speed up, slow down, or change direction. So, we use electric current. We use electric current in many ways to help our lives easier, to help make our lives easier. We depend on the heating effect. Heating effect is the heat produced by the um, forces, by the objects. This is a heater. This is a this is a heater and this is an iron. So this makes our lives easier. In this phenomena, we depend on fundamental sources. So after watching electricity to do work, so it works. So after watching that, we move on to study these forces themselves, starting with those that make objects speed up. And we have to study the objects, that how it speeds up, it slows down or change any direction. So to understand these forces, it helps explain why a ball thrown up in the air falls back to the ground, or why a car stops when the brakes are applied. These so these all examples is because of forces. It falls down because of force, and the car stops, the brakes are applied because of mechanical force. So this also leads us to the idea of pressure, how the force is distributed over an object. The same concepts of force and pressure also decide how air moves. A small difference in pressure can result in a gentle breeze, while a stronger pressure difference can lead to strong winds and sometimes even cyclones. So these forces are connected to powerful weather events like storms and cyclones that affect our daily lives, agriculture, and even our safety. So this is given here that this is a stone, and this is a stone and it is solid. And in solids the molecules that are there are stick to one another. And in liquid it is there that they are very not very close, but they are little apart from each other. And in gas, in the balloons there is gas. There are molecules, but they are very apart from each other. They are not close. Once we know how particles combine or mix, we can then understand solutions. For example, how sugar dissolves in tea to make it sweet. From the world of particles and mixtures, we then move to the world of light. We will study how light rays reflect off flat and curved mirrors and bends when passing through lenses and helps us understand the working of many objects around us. The bending of light explains what happens when we see an image in a shiny metal spoon, or how corrective glasses help us many of us see clearly. We, you studied in the class of in the class 7th in the chapter of light that there are convex mirrors, concave mirrors, and both lenses, concave and convex. So this is talking about curved mirrors and bends when passing through lenses, and it is also talking about lenses and helps us understand the working of many objects around us. The bending of light, like this is a mirror, and here comes the light, and it bends from here like this, and another one comes and bends here like this, and helps us understand the working of many objects around us. So, this the bending of light explains what happens when we see an image in a shiny metal spoon, or how corrective glasses help many of us see clearly. It's not just a polished mirror that reflects light. Rough surfaces reflect light as well, and so does the moon. Depending on the relative positions of the earth, moon and sun, a slightly different part of the moon is illuminated. Such night given rise to the beautiful phases of the moon we see in the sky. And you must be thinking that only the mirror or only polished surfaces reflect light, but there is also some rough surfaces that reflect light as well. So the first example is moon. The moon reflects the light of the sun to the earth. So, and it gives a rise to the beautiful faces of the moon that we see. Watching in the periodic circles of the moon's phases allowed humans to come up with the first calendars, and the early humans watched the periodic cycles of a moon, like this is the full moon, and there are many phases of moon that we see nowadays. So these periodic cycles of the moon's phase allowed early humans to come up with the first calendars. We know the time, what is in the month or in the year or even in the day. So it is all because of the moon and the sun. By combining careful observations of sunrises, sunsets, and lunar cycles, various calendars came into being. Isn't it fascinating that the calendars which determine our routines on Earth are linked to the motions of objects far beyond our planet? But it's not just calendars or the movements of the sun and the moon that are linked. Right here on earth, there are marvelous and complex patterns of relationship between living organisms and their environments. Every living being, from tiniest insect to the largest whale, from blades of grasses to tall trees, depends on and responds to the air, water, sunlight, and other organisms around them, forming the ecosystems that support life on our planet. In the final chapter of this book, we can put it all together and try to understand what makes Earth just right for life. and to recognize the urgent challenges that our planet now faces. Most importantly, the Earth lies at the perfect distance from the Sun where water remains liquid, and it has an atmosphere that provides the oxygen we breathe while shielding us from the harmful ultraviolet rays. The Earth, if this is the Sun and this is the last planet, Neptune, and here is the Earth. Here is the Earth, and the Earth lies at the perfect distance because if the Earth was here, the water here will be ice, and here the water will be too hot to use. So the Earth lies at the perfect distance, not too close to the Sun or too apart from the Sun. But human activities on the planet can cause small changes in the temperature of the Earth, disrupting climate patterns with dangerous consequences. And the Earth has an atmosphere that provides the oxygen we breathe and shield us and protect us from the harmful rays, ultraviolet rays from, that comes from the sun. But the human activities that we humans do on the planet can cause small changes in the temperature of the earth, disrupting climate patterns with dangerous consequences. At the heart of both the problem and any possible solution is us. The human beings are polluting the air, and the heart of the problem and the solution is human beings, us. So we have to find the solution and make it happen. We are the ones influencing Earth's climate, but we are also the ones who can and must use science to understand these changes and guide our actions. And on the earth, we are the ones that influence the earth climate. Animals don't influence, they are just animals, we can say. They have no brain. To understand that, we have to keep the earth safe, and they are also suffering from the same stages. So, we are the only ones that must use science to understand these changes, and we have to guide our actions. The same scientific principles that we have guided our journey through the middle stages, observing, measuring, experimenting, will be key in helping us protect the delicate balance on which life depends. The challenges ahead won't always be easy. We hope some of you will try to solve these difficult problems with curiosity as your guide. So, this book, Curiosity, is here to help to be a guide for all these problems. Here, there is a question: why is one side of a puri thinner than the other? And I have written the answer here: because of uneven rolling, expansion pressure, and oil submersion. Uneven rolling means the puri is something like this. Um, this side is thicker, thick, and this side is thin. This is the uneven rolling, and the expansion pressure. because this side is not expanding and this side is expanding. This is the expansion pressure. Oil submersion. There is not enough oil or too oil in the utensil. So these are the reasons that the puri is thinner than the side of the puri. One side of the puri is thinner than the other. So remember that science is everywhere. You don't need a fancy laboratory to do simple experiments. Even your kitchen at home is a wonderful place to observe and ask questions. All you need is to start with curiosity, careful observation, and asking what happens. Have you noticed how a puri or a batura puffs when placed in hot oil, or how pulka swells when put directly on the flame? Why does it puff up like a balloon? And why is one side thinner than the other? These are questions a scientist might ask, and you can too. Let's see how we can investigate this simple everyday phenomenon like a scientist would. Happy investigation. These are not necessary, so you can read it, but these are not necessary. And don't worry about my writing, it's just I can write with the pencil on the screen. Thank you.